Hello, welcome to the TV room. David Bradley here. I think it's time to maybe give Rudy a call. Hello, Rudy.
How are you?
Good. I am, of course, in the midst of recording.
Of course.
I wanted to report to you what I have done.
Oh, let's hear.
Okay, so I did remove the socket from
Yes.
the crusty, rusty, dusty. And it's funny because in the midst of that, I'm pretty sure I didn't find a cold solder joint, but I found a pin that, like, when I just went to suck it out, the whole pin came. So I think
Aha.
the pin was broken.
Aha.
Ah. So I finally got that all sucked out and cleared out. And then, of course, I went to my collection of amazing sockets that I thought I had and discovered that most everything I have is just for little skinny chips. But I did have a 40 thing. Actually, I did take a skinny 28 thing
Right.
and I
Right.
snipped it in half and thought I'd use that. But
Right.
then before I went to put the two halves in and get everything sorted and everything just dandy, and damned if a pin didn't break in the midst of that.
Oh.
So I said, "Oh well, this is where I've been here before. I don't want to do that." So then I took a 40 pin socket,
Right.
and I cut it shorter, but making sure that I didn't cut off too much.
Okay.
And then I did manage to get that one to go in nicely, and it is now
Perfect.
soldered in, and the chip is in. So the next thing I have to do is go back downstairs and repopulate the board with a 6520, a 6522, and the three missing ROM chips.
And then.
Then I need to pop it into the the chiclet pet
Right.
and turn it on
Aha.
and see if anything I've done has made it any different than what it was.
I'm sure it has because you said you found a broken pin.
Well, it's as I was sucking the solder out. I mean, I sucked it out, and then I went and I thought, "Oh, gee, that pin came right out."
Yeah.
So it does, and that, of course, also would show, when I was pushing on it, the screen, it never came up nicely, but it changed.
Right.
So maybe that thing was making just a little better connection, but not much of enough, or enough of enough to do anything. And so there is hope.
Yes. There's always hope.
I am not sure. Well, I would say, you know what, if I turn it on and it comes up exactly the same, you will probably hear the scream all the way up there.
Well,
Even
the
if it
thing
doesn't
is,
work, I just want it to be different.
yes, if it's different is good. But if it doesn't work, but you're pressing on that spot and it's not changing, then you just fixed one problem.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
Right.
there. Remember, this machine had a bunch of chips that were bad, so
Right.
it's not unthinkable that more of the support chips could be bad. And it's kind of cool, when you're looking at the traces, you can kind of even see which pins might be in, or which chips might be involved.
Right. And you can also then, with your soldering iron, just retouch up those support chips.
Well, you know what, I did that with the iron before. I did the
Okay.
main chip, and then I went and kind of things around there that looked like they could possibly be something. I
Right.
did touch them up as well. But if the initial problem was still that broken pin inside the socket, then none of it would have made any difference.
Right.
So we'll see.
I'll
But
see.
there are, yeah. I mean, there's a chip right at the end of this chip, and that, I don't know. If anything, if I was going to do anything next, I would yank that one out, and I would yank it out of another board, and I would see what's what. But anyway, I am somewhat hopeful.
Sorry.
I'm somewhat hopeful. I would just like it to do something different.
Yeah,
So it could say, aha, even if there's something else wrong.
that's right.
That just,
That changes
everything,
things.
everything I've tried so far has made no difference at all.
Yeah.
Nothing. And it is frustrating. I did
Uh,
another thing earlier. I did try using another data set with the pet that has the data set that won't work.
right,
And I did get it to work. Actually, I did deoxit the connector there.
right.
I did have some strange results. It may have been, um, see, there's nowhere for the cord on the data set to go.
Uh-huh.
Like you can't stick out the side. So I did have, I may have been putting a little added pressure on the board by closing the thing in and having the cord not so neatly coming out.
But you could put the board on your bench and power it that way.
Well, yes, I haven't. I gotta. You know what? I was thinking even just now as I was here. I could just take out the pet companion,
Yeah.
and I could get a monitor here, and I could do all this here. But I
Hey,
don't.
but
I don't have a power supply out of a pet at the moment.
you don't have to put out of the pet. You just turn the pet so the keyboard is facing you away. So you're basically facing the back of the pet,
Uh,
and you run the power cable under the lip of the lid. Like when you close the lid,
oh yeah.
there's a space between the lid and the bottom case. So you can run the wire through that out the side and plug it into your board.
Hmm.
Just like I did in my video.
Hmm. Interesting.
But you turn the pet
Yeah, you
away
have to
so
you have to turn it around. Yeah.
yeah, so that the back is facing you, so which is good because the switch is right in front, like in front of you then to power it on and off.
Hmm. All right. I'll think about that.
Now,
Yes, I
the
will.
the one with your tape drive, have you plugged it into the other tape port, the one at the back?
Oh yeah, it had weird results there too. But
Yeah,
you know what? I haven't cleaned that one yet.
yeah, you should try that one too,
Yep. Oh yeah. No, I want to try them all.
because
Right.
then it's probably then it could be the 6522.
Yep. Actually, it was weird. Is when I had the thing plugged in at one point
Right,
to try that. So what I did with the Blue Bezel pet is I had a program in there and I saved it onto a tape, and then I wanted to load it into the other one, and I
right.
did, and weird things were happening, and it may be because of the way the connector was in, or it might have been tweaked a bit or something. I don't know, but anyway, then for a moment it came up with no cursor, which typically means one of the 6522 chips is toast.
Yeah.
But then I thought, oh, this is anyway. So I unplugged it, and let it sit for a moment, turned it back on, it came up just fine. So I'm gonna, you know what? The other thing I suppose I could do is find a way to run the cord in, if it will fit, in through one of the openings. That's
But
all. Like,
I would just put it in the back.
well, no, but I'm trying. I need to test the internal port.
Oh, yeah, but if they're the same port, right? So if the back one works, the front one should work too.
Well, yeah, I'd like to think that.
Like if it's a 6522, then it's gonna do the same thing on both tape ports, right?
I would like to think that.
Or make some space, take
But
the board out, and plug it in that way.
yeah, I suppose another thing I could do is
You could take the board up and lift it up, put something underneath it, like some books or whatever,
well,
so it's
you
not
know what?
sitting.
You know what I probably need to do is just take some other stuff of something and put it between the case and the case, so the case isn't then pushing down on the cable,
Right?
which is then pushing up on the board or down on the board or something. It's hard to type when you've got the thing wide open.
Of course.
Um,
Yep. Yeah.
but
You
I
could plug
suppose
another
I
keyboard in.
I could do. Oh yes, I could connect another keyboard.
Just unplug the one that's built in and plug
Ooh,
another keyboard in.
ooh. Oh, there's no end of things to try. Anyway, all I really hope is that when it's all said and done, oh my word, I'm just look. Oh my golly, I'm just looking at this thing here. Oh no, there's a ROM chip in this board that has a bent pin.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh no. Well, yeah, but this is the dusty, crusty restaurant. It would not. Once again, that wouldn't have been what was causing the difficulty, but I just didn't realize that I had one. I was just looking and saying, "Oh yeah, everything's great," and then, "Oh no, it's not great." Anyway, I'll take my little pliers
Yeah,
and sort that out. These sockets are very unforgiving.
they're very cheap.
Yep.
They're probably the worst sockets ever made.
Well, I think the other ones, the Commodore used, the white ones, were also notorious for getting so loose the chips would basically just be floating in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they
Not
aren't
the best. No.
not the best. Anyway, I will fix this pin. The only pliers I have sitting right up here are cutting pliers. I'm not going to touch it with that. So,
If you need sockets, let me know what sizes you need, and I'll send you some.
oh, I'll see. You know what? I think I got some other ones. I've got to find them.
Ah,
I've got to find them. Although these little ones, I thought, oh yeah, these are good. But I really thought, I'll have to look back. I really thought I had another whole box that had wider, not the ones for the RAM chips, but the the
yeah,
24s and the 28s and all that. I
yeah,
really
yeah.
think I did. I'd like to think that I can still find it. But anyway,
Okay,
for the moment, this, you know what? It's one of those things where I really didn't like cutting this thing and using it,
right,
but it's
right.
just, I've got to find out what's going on.
Well, if you want, I don't know if you did this, but if you cut, if you cut the sockets,
Yep.
right, then what you do is you put those sockets on the chip, and then when you put it back in the board, just use some like painter's tape to hold it down, and you can solder it.
Yep.
And then when you pull the chip out, it's exactly lined up.
Yeah. Yes. You know what? When with the one I cut in half down the middle, I
Right.
tried doing that, and that's somehow how a pin that I think
Uh,
was already defective went snap.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's when I said, okay, I'm going to take the one that's already this wide. And still, I had difficulty getting the damn thing in because it's well, anyway.
Yeah.
The pins are, yeah. I think these sockets are not the best either.
Well, anything's better than what the ones that came with it.
Yes. Well, also, I know for sure that all the pins were going through, and I've soldered all the pins, and I am forever hopeful that it will at least, even if it doesn't work, it will look different.
Yes. Well, you
And
fixed one thing.
well,
One moment.
I hope it makes a difference.
Yeah. Well, we'll soon find out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
One at a time. Anyway, so now I guess I have to decide if I'm going to do this now or not, because of course Andrew is sleeping, and I do not want to disturb his slumber.
Uh,
So I will ponder. I will ponder. But certainly I'm on the road to figuring this out. Now, of course, I have to straighten out a round chip
yep.
and get that back in there. Maybe I should double check everything. Funny, I was just sitting here looking. Oh yeah, yeah. Everything. Oh no.
A double check is good.
Indeed. Anyway, well, I will keep you posted
Definitely. Keep
as
me
I.
posted.
Yes.
And the adventures of David Bradley.
Oh, they are endless. I just like to get this because I know there are other ones I want to look at, and I have
You'll
moved
get
them.
this.
Well, I
You'll
moved
get
another
this.
one in position. I actually was reading the very original manual, and it does speak of demagnetizing the head on the data set.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Neither do I, but I'm going to find out because I know it worked. I know it did work, and then it suddenly stopped, and that is probably the thing because it doesn't. I mean, I'll check the belt, but
Right.
it seems to be doing everything exactly as it did before, the same speed as it did before. Everything was handy, and that anyway. I think I will
That,
find out. I will look on YouTube. There's got to be a YouTube video about how to demagnetize the tape head on a
yeah.
cassette.
Also, you might want to try different tape.
Oh, I've used different tapes.
Okay.
Oh yes, I've exhausted the possibilities. But anyway,
Good.
we will see. I'm just trying to narrow it down. It's all the joys of troubleshooting.
The joys of troubleshooting. At the end, it's yay.
Oh yeah, when it works, it's like, oh yeah, it was all worth it.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I don't want to keep you from your fun. Are you working on something tonight or just taking it
No,
easy?
tonight. Not tonight. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be. Yeah, I worked late last night, and so tonight I'm just kind of
Uh-huh.
relaxing. Gonna hit the bed a little early, and then tomorrow I will be continuing the journey of the Commodore MPS 1250.
Yes. Yes. The
Yes.
the 1250, for those that don't know, had a Centronics parallel interface and a serial one, as in the same as the 64 and the 128 and the VIC-20. So if you had a whole flock of machines, even if you had like a Commodore PC, like a PC 10 or 20
Yeah.
or 40 or anything,
Yes.
that one printer would work with all your machines as well as other machines. Because I think,
Right.
what were you going to try it with, Mr. Rudy?
Well, I'm gonna try out my Apple II
Ooh,
and my K Pro.
a very versatile printer.
Yes, very versatile. And I found out last night that you can still get ribbons for it.
Woohoo!
So I've ordered one. It's from a company in Alberta, and once I get it, I'm going to be testing it out.
Very good. So in other words, both ribbons were toast.
Yeah, one is worse than the other, but
I
the
bet.
one has you don't see anything,
Uh,
and one is very faint, but it is working. So like the printer test is working anyways. That part is good. Now there must be videos out there on how to re-ink it, but the
yeah.
last time I've looked at something like that, it's a lot of dirty work.
Oh yeah. And like the old typewriter ribbons were kind of fabric. I think they
Yes,
had a much better chance. A lot of these other ones are almost like a foil,
yeah,
and
and
it's like
depends
no.
on the certain printers require a ribbon like a fabric, and some require like this foil.
Yep.
Depending on the dot matrix printers don't usually. Ones with the daisy wheels use the more like a foil type of ribbon.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep. Yep.
that is what I'll be working on, and I have my fixing my Commodore PET with my VIC-20 video coming out this Friday.
Ooh,
So
that will be exciting.
it will be sharing some knowledge.
Oh yes, parts are good.
Yes, parts are
Parts are
always
good.
good. Yeah. All
Indeed.
right. On that happy note, I will let you get back to your to
Well,
your.
now I'm going to fret over, do I risk waking up Andrew and go downstairs? Because I'd really like to see if this makes a difference or not. And I'm not sure. First thing, of course, I will straighten this bent pin.
Yes,
Oh, can't believe
that happens to everybody.
it. Ah, just when I thought it was safe to come out of the woods. A bent pin.
A bent pin. Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes that's all it takes to fix something is get that bent pin straightened.
And oh, one last thing. The chips that you tested with your chip tester, you
Yes.
said one of them tested, like so it gives a degree of how badly they are. Like
Well,
you said, one of them was almost okay.
yeah. So if it's like a logic chip or like memory chips, it's pretty much, parts of it can be good, parts of it can be bad. But when you're testing some components like ROMs or even CPUs or PLAs, whatever, you can have parts of it where it's working fine, and then one little tiny piece is not working. So
Mm.
when I was checking the was it the 6540s?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those were failing this thing called a checksum. So it does some internal math and checks to make sure everything's fine, and it's like, oh, it gives you an error, but so it's marginal. But when it's marginal, you don't want to put that in
Oh
because
no.
you'll be fixing something else and thinking it's something else, and you go down this other rabbit hole, right?
Well, every one of those
Or bad.
would not let the machine come up.
Yeah,
So
they're all definitely
whatever
bad.
little marginal thing it was marginal, or not marginal enough to cause it to say, "Screw you, I'm not working."
Yeah, yeah. So I will be bringing those back when I see
Yeah.
you next. And thank you again for letting me borrow them. I just wanted to verify that the chip tester.
It's always nice to know your chip tester is really like testing the chips.
That's right. So the one way to validate, well, put a bad chip and see if it says bad.
Indeed.
Right.
Lovely. Alrighty.
Alrighty, my friend. Have a
I
good
will
night.
continue to torment myself.
Yes, keep me posted.
Oh yeah.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye.
All right. So what to do? What to do? What to do? It's possible I could do this. One thing I must do though. Don't believe it. Bent pin. A bent pin on that ROM chip. It would be the first one going from the left. Ugh, if you're so careful, things still go bad. Anyway, so the soldering iron should be cool. I'm not going to touch them though. They're unplugged. They are. Anyway, enough for now. David Bradley signing off from the TV room that I vow to keep neat and tidy. We'll see how that goes. Right now, things here, well, um, the stuff is on the table that I need. But now, pretty much, you know what? Between each video, I should really, kind of like in the doctor's office, rip off the paper, throw the paper away, get everything nice and tidy, be ready for the next thing. But yes, I will do my best. I know you're laughing out there. Anyway, from the TV room, David Bradley signing off. Good night. Bye for now.